Hi, hello everyone. I'm super excited to introduce Shekhar Vijayan. He can be called Shri, he can be called Janab, you can prefix professor, you can prefix actor, you can prefix hero, you can prefix influencer, whatever you want. But I would love to prefix buddy in front of his name because he is the buddy who will be there. A friend in need is a friend indeed. So he is my friend, philosopher, and guide to be transformed from good to great. He's a great storyteller and he's going to talk about storytelling and communication, chapter 6. Please be all ears. I'm also excited about this session because I know he's going to add value in your life. It's all about adding value and being there. One thing I super like about him is the way he talks about his daughter Akira. She's the light, she's the star, she's the one who makes us feel that there is light at the end of the tunnel. So I respect him for the love he had for sunshine, the shine which left for the better abode. So I would love to pray, show dignity and respect for all the human beings in this world. And I'm right now very expanded after a super prayer, super energy prayer done by my best friend. And, I'm full of energy to give you all most and more. And I'm in a space where, God is there and energy is there, aura is there, frequency is there, and Almighty is there telling us to believe in total surrender, manifestations, and miracles. So with this, I want to, give over to my friend Shekhar Vijayan for running his class on the beautiful storytelling. Over to you, Shekhar. All yours. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, before I start, thank you, Vijaya, for such a wonderful and a warm welcome. So nice to meet all of you. But before I start, it's always fun to see faces. If you could come on video, we would appreciate it. We would, yeah, that would be nice. Thank you so much. It'd be nice. Yes, yes. We've seen so much of in the last couple of years, post-pandemic. We've all seen the Zoom calls. And this is a joke I have in every session I do. When I say the most common words we all use is, am I audible? Can you hear me? Is the mute button on? That's all we talk about. Right? Those have been the common words which we've used in the pandemic. But I think the pandemic has also been an opportunity for a lot of us to show what we are capable of. I think for every adversity, there's an opportunity. And I'll expand on that a lot. Now, the topic we're talking about today is communication and storytelling. Now, when I talk about communication, it can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. Communication is very, very integral to whatever we do in life. So I would suggest you take notes, you ask questions. We'll have a lot of activities in between. I want to keep this session as important, as effective, as interactive as possible. Because when I see all 10 of us, all 10 of us come with different personalities, different mindsets, different skill sets. And that's what makes it special. I think when I look at all 10 of us, it's like a mixture of different values, different opinions, different thoughts, different ideas, and different inflection points, because we all have our experiences. So today is communication and storytelling. And if I speak too fast, people say I speak as fast as Shah Rukh Khan. Please stop me. But that's because my energy levels are really high, because I'm excited to talk to you. There's a Pathan in all of us, right? And the reason I'm saying Pathan is, whether you like movies or you don't like movies, Shah Rukh Khan, his movie Pathan came out, and I really like this gentleman, not for his acting skills, but for the fact that he came from nowhere and made the industry his own, which is a certain skill set, a certain mindset we all need to have. And beyond the fact that he's a movie actor, beyond the fact whether he's a good or a bad or an average movie actor, watch his storytelling skills when he's on the mic. He's a natural entertainer, if you know what I mean. I was just, once you finish the session with me, listen to all good storytellers. When I'm saying all good storytellers, it could be leaders from around the world. It could be somebody like Nelson Mandela. It could be our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi. It could be, Shah Rukh Khan, for example. It could be anyone who you like, the reason why you like that person is because their stories are effective, because their communication skills are good. The number one fear in the world is not the fear of dying. The number one fear in the world is the fear of talking on stage. You know why? Because we all think if we talk on stage, what will that person at the other end who's listening to us think about us? Right? The number one fear in the world is not the fear of dying. Marna, to everybody's comfortable with Hindi. I can speak in Hindi and English, or you want me to just speak in English?
Yes,
English.
no problem.
Yeah, don't worry, I won't
No,
abuse anybody in Hindi.
Hindi, I don't know.
Okay, fine. I'll just continue with
English.
English. What I'm trying to say is very simple. The number one fear in the world is not the fear of dying. Dying, so we all have to die one day. Okay, there is an expiry date to all of us, whether we like it or not. There's no denying it. We accept it with open arms. But the fear which all of us face is that tiny fear in our heart. When butterflies start growing in our stomach, saying that, how do I talk on stage? How do I communicate my ideas, thoughts, and opinions to the people who are listening to me? Like for me, I met all of you yesterday, right? And I have that innate ability. I have that magical power, I feel, that I can engage with people anywhere, anyhow, anytime. Because I trust. The world lacks in trust if you look around you. If the world didn't have trust, why would we all stand at the immigration counter and show our passports? It goes without saying, right? Everybody's trying to protect themselves. The boundaries are built by people. If we don't have those boundaries, we don't have boundaries right now. Yesterday, I got to know something which is very intimate and very personal to all of you, which is what do you like to eat? That is something which you start your day and end your day with, right? You discuss something so intimate and so personal with me, right? So I think, that's what communication is all about. Communication is all about keeping it simple. Communication is all about, your body language. Communication is all about your verbal and non-verbal cues. Communication is all about storytelling and body language. Now, when I talk about communication, there are a lot of things which we talk about. What are the most important elements of communication? Anybody can tell me what are the most important elements of communication? Don't worry. This is not you're wrong means you're wrong. You're right means you're right. Just tell me, express what you feel. What is the most important elements of communication?
Respect.
I think it's
Listen.
Okay. Respect.
Listen, understand.
Listening.
Understanding.
Yeah.
Knowledge.
Clear.
Yeah. Okay. So
Acknowledge.
acknowledgement, respect. I like the word that we all use, saying respect. Respect is what makes the world go around, by the way.
Yeah.
Right? If respect is not there, nothing's going to work in this world.
Yes.
Right? And the reason why I'm talking about the world is because what I have in front of me is a global audience. Now, we have reached a stage right now in our life that we are talking globally. Technology has done that to us. I can talk to Asli, who's sitting somewhere in Dubai, for example, or I can talk to Rajkumar, who's sitting somewhere in Chennai, where I'm in Bangalore, which is the silicon capital of the world, like they say. But the infrastructure is still as bad as it can get. But that's how it is. Technology has, taken us to a different level altogether. Who knows next year, if Elon Musk thinks the way it is, he might be flying and talking to each other. That can happen. There is always a possibility. So the future is endless. The future is infinite, I believe. And like I said, it's about speaking, listening, reading, and writing. And you'll be surprised in all this speaking, listening, reading, and writing, which is a maximum percentage in terms of communication.
Talking.
Okay.
Listening.
Howsy now.
Again, I think listening, because we need to listen first before we communicate.
Absolutely. So, okay. So you'll be surprised that this is a magical power every expert communicator has, the art of listening. There are people who have written books on this called The Art of Listening. They have theorized this book and made it so powerful, saying this is the art of listening. But actually, it's so simple. If you take out all the noise around you, right, and the long hair, that is, You can listen very effectively, because listening is about listening to verbal and non-verbal cues. Listening is listening to those silences. And more than listening, you have to listen to yourself. I'm talking about communication, but you have to be your own best friend. You have to understand your heartbeats. You have to understand what makes you tick. You have to understand what is your goal in life. You have to understand what is it that drives you every day. Because life is very uncertain, whether we like it or not. We've seen how the pandemic has changed all of us, right? Physically, mentally, and socially, right? So it's about what you want to listen. And I think listening is the strongest element. If you want to be an expert communicator, if you want to be a superlative communicator, you need to listen, not just to your audience, not just to the 10 people who are listening to me right now. It's like the Pied Piper story. It's not about the audience. It's not about 10 people or 10 million people. It's about what are the ideas, what are the thoughts, what are the opinions, how does that drive me forward? What am I listening to? Am I listening to the silences effectively? If I'm listening to the silences, are the birds listening to me? I spend a lot of time with animals. I like Vijaya said, she spoke about Sunshine. Sunshine was my golden retriever. I've got another golden retriever now. Her name is also Sunshine. Dogs have this ability to listen to you. But looking at their expression, you cannot make out whether they're listening or not. But they listen to your silences very effectively. And I want to share this thought with all of you, and I want your opinion on this. Animals have lived in this planet more than us. They are more evolved than us, by the way. We human beings think that we are the answer to all the problems in this universe, but we are mistaken. We are not. We are just a tiny speck in this universe. Animals, dinosaurs have lived longer than all of us. The reason why they've lived longer than all of us is because their communication skills are good, their emotional intelligence is good, their ability to understand us is very effective. And I bring it to another point, which is about emotional intelligence. Yes, communication is about listening, reading, writing, body language, storytelling, but your emotional intelligence will be that elusive magical power which will take you forward. I don't know if you've noticed, Vijaya, whenever she starts a session, she has a lot of gratitude for the universe, right? That's a very simple thought, having gratitude for the universe, but that's what leaders do. You have gratitude for what you have around you. You bow towards what's happening around you, because I think we are all infinitely lucky. On this day and age, we are all listening to something very important. We are all taking in what we have. And that essentially is communication. Which leads me to my next point. Who is an effective communicator? From all of you, I would need you to tell me, according to you, who is an effective communicator? What defines an effective communicator for you? Is it somebody who's 6 feet tall? Is it somebody who dresses up well? Is it somebody who's got a great voice? Somebody like Amitabh Bachchan, for example? Is it, or somebody who's got, who bangs his hands on the table and talks
Those
like
who
a
convey the
Hitler?
message clearly, sir.
I'm sorry?
Those who convey the message clearly. A good
Absolutely.
communicator is the one
Ultimately,
who
absolutely. I think ultimately, when you boil it down to simplicity, simplicity is the key, right? Good communication is all about that. Okay, I want to share this with all of you. All of you watch films? I know Vijaya is a big fan of Rajnikant. Yes? Everybody
Yes.
knows about Rajnikant?
Very
Everybody
big
knows about
fan of
Yes, yes.
Rajnikant. I
very
love
big fan.
Superstar. Yes,
Correct.
me
Very
too.
big fan of Rajnikant, right?
Yes.
What makes Rajnikant so adorable? What makes Rajnikant so special for everybody? Why?
He's
Yeah.
a people's person.
Riches, his hard work, his dedication for films, his passion.
Yes, he is a very hard worker person, and he's very humble person, and he's a devotional.
Simplicity.
What I see is the
Simplicity.
background,
He's,
simplicity.
he's
Yes,
so different on the screen. He's so different on the stage.
yes,
He's people's
yes.
person. And as an
He's purple.
outsider to Bollywood, I have just
From
joined.
Turkey.
I am very
Vijay is really
impressed
excited, huh? I must tell you. Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I go to cinema here, and when people on the big screen, they see Salman Khan or Rajnikant,
Talking
they all
about
stand up and clap.
Clap.
Please.
Clap.
what movement?
Rajkumar, what do you think?
I mean, Rajinikanth is more like he is a very humble and relatable person. I have read his small bits and pieces of his biography and all, and I also read some of his humbling moments, which really kind of shook me up. Being such a person of great, of such stature, he's still able to kind of maintain his simplicity. That's really humbling.
Very nice. I love the perspective you gave. Tamanna ji, what about you? What do you think? Ma'am, you're on mute. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, something which I
Shikha,
like about Rajnikant is his humility. I mean, amazing, you know, like he's such a humble person, like, you know, which comes across the screen, you know, whenever he's talking or something, you know, it's like, it's just amazing, you know, the way he's so humble. You know, he's achieved so much in his life, yet
Yeah,
he's such a simple person. So I think I
correct.
like that best about him.
Very nice. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Dr. Sarna.
Shikha,
Yeah, please, Rajkumar, continue, please.
is it okay if I can just share a few lines incident which happened in Rajinikanth's life? I read it in his
Please go
autobiography.
for it. Super.
Usually when he comes to Bangalore, in a disguised form. So once he actually went to a temple in a disguised form, like if you see it is disguised form, people think he is a very ground level person kind of thing. So he came out of the car just few feet away from the temple, and he went to the temple. When he is going in the temple, he noticed somebody was observing for a very long time, and the person was observing Rajinikanth in his disguise form. He came near Rajinikanth and gave him 10 rupees. Rajinikanth didn't know what to say. He simply humbly accepted it, and he went inside. He prayed to the God, and he came out. When he came out, he got into the car. While he was getting into the car, somehow the person who gave him the 10 rupees came to know that he is actually Rajinikanth. So immediately the person who gave him 10 rupees ran towards Rajinikanth, and he kind of apologized. Sorry, sir, I didn't know you were such a. I gave you 10 rupees thinking that you are some kind of a person who was asking for some donation and all. I didn't know that. Rajinikanth laughed and said, "This is what God meant for me to give me for today. I accepted very humbly. You don't need to worry about anything." And he accepted the 10 rupees, he kept it in his pocket, and he left. Without
So
making any
nice.
fuss.
Yeah. And I think that's a very, very important point, right, Rajkumar, what you just said, because, you know, the reason why I spoke about Rajinikanth is somebody who's very relatable, right? He's such an expert communicator. He's somebody who everybody, there's something about him. He's just a film star at the end of the day, right? But what is it about a film star that makes us go mad? Because we can relate to it, because they can communicate to us so effectively. Say, for example, Vijaya told that I'm an actor. You know, and for an actor, the biggest advantage is breaking the fourth wall and, you know, talking to your audience directly. Rajnikant is able to do that very effortlessly because he doesn't put on an act. What you see on screen and what you see off screen is Rajnikant the superstar, but off screen, Rajnikant is balding, graying, walking in normal clothes, not putting on a wig, not putting on an accent. He's just the way he is, right? I think that's why people relate to him. You know, people can relate that to him. And that's a very, very elusive quality people have. You know, during the pandemic, a lot of people could not manage to come out of that shell. You know, I believe, you know, we're all ruled by the apps around us, our apps, Instagram, Facebook, Zoom, WhatsApp. We're all trying to put the best version of ourselves every day. But the only way to get out of this addiction, I call this addiction because it is an addiction, yeah, on apps, is to be what you are. And it's a very tough act to follow. Like they say, you know, in management mantra, keep it simple. It's very tough to be simple. And Rajnikant has mastered it very well. He's somebody who's extremely smart, somebody who understands the pulse of the audience. And if you see leaders around us who have the ability to change the world, they all know the pulse of the audience. They all know what makes the audience tick, not just in India, but across the world. So I think he's the best example of a communicator. When I talk about communication, he's the first person that comes to mind because he makes all of you smile. So if he makes all of you smile, he has to be special, right? One more point I would like to tell all of you is things you should keep in mind when you communicate. Don't communicate when you're angry. Always communicate with a smile. The person at the other end may not know whether you're being sarcastic, sardonic, or you're being real. Don't communicate when you're angry. When we're angry, anger is a momentary emotion. We've all gone through that phase. When you're angry, words you say are taken out of like a quiver of arrows, and then you cannot take it back. We've all faced the brunt of it. So don't communicate when you're angry. Sometimes silence is also important, and silence can be the most important tool. Silence is golden, they say. I feel silence is platinum right now in today's day and age. So make sure silence is platinum, not just golden. Avoid arguments. And if you want to communicate very effectively, for example, if you don't understand what that person is saying, who is talking to you, just paraphrase. And I'm saying paraphrases. For example, Asli asked me a question. So, Shekhar, how do you like your biryani? And I say, Asli, if I heard you right, you want to know how do I like my biryani. So it gives me time to think. It gives me time to think in terms of what biryani is she talking about, and whether she's talking about chicken, mutton, or vegetarian biryani, which is a myth. Veg biryani is a myth, by the way. There's nothing like veg biryani. Just letting it out there. But that's the idea of communication. It's about presence of mind. It's about paraphrasing. It's about not getting in on argument, because arguments don't lead to any solution, whether we like it or not. And you will always have situations where people may not want to listen to you, where people may not want to know what you think. You can always ask their opinion. When you ask their opinion, they feel wanted, they feel liked, they feel appreciated. The one skill of communication is always appreciate the people around you. It gives you time to think for yourself. People love being appreciated. We are living in a world where we all want to be appreciated. I fail to understand, when we all work in companies, right? Why do people scold their employees in public? You should always appreciate in public and give feedback in private. That's a simple philosophy in life. People don't understand. That's sandwich feedback. That's where leaders go wrong. They do everything out in the open because it goes to the head. Power is a crazy cocktail of, making sure that you are the be and end of everything. So I think one important tool for communication is don't talk when you're angry. Write if you want when you're angry. Paraphrase what you want to say. Repeat whatever that person is saying in your own words. That gives you time to think. And to get that other person on your side, the audience on your side, ask their opinion. That's exactly what I did. I don't know if you noticed it. I asked you, who's an expert communicator? You all said Rajnikant. And it gave me time to think, right? So because I'm dealing with an audience which is very different. See, all of you are from different parts of the world, different age groups, different strata, different thought process, different stories. How do I get all of you together? I let you speak. I listen to you. I absorb everything. That is the art of communication. It's about listening. And listening is 45% of your success. Speaking is 30%, listening is 45%, reading is 16%, writing is 9%. That's a very interesting graphic, which is all there in Vijaya's book, by the way. Very interesting book, which is written. I did go through it, and it's very important, very effective, and very informative. Now, what are the barriers to communication? What do you think are the barriers to communication? Bad technology, I think. What, according to all of you, is the barriers to communication? Sir, I would love to know from you, sir, Mr. Singravedivelu. So the barriers to communication, according to you, sir.
Well, main thing is a stage fear.
Stage fear, okay. Sir, this is your stage right now.
Yeah.
Okay, stage fear is a barrier to communication. Great. Okay, what else? Anybody else? Vasanti ma'am. Vasanta ma'am. Ma'am, you are on mute.
Yes, good evening, sir. Okay, for me, communication or stage fear, no, because I've already done that. I've been to the stage, and I practice myself not to be fear. So you have to be prepared yourself first before you on the stage, and you have to be humble and say, as you're saying, it's really very interesting. And of course, I don't think so there's a barrier for me, because I'm always at the age of 16 onwards, I was communicating with people, with the salesperson and all that. So for me, the fear is no more there. So I think, but still I'm learning. I'm learning from you, sir. It's fantastic. Let me
Thank you,
catch it
thank you,
up.
ma'am.
So
Thank you, ma'am. I want to know from each one of you one moment in your life which was an example of bad communication. It could be anything. What you observed around you, it could be, everybody talks about Steve Jobs being a great communicator, about Apple, and, it's legendary. Steve Jobs, Apple, his creativity and everything. But I don't know if all of you know this, Steve Jobs was not a great people manager. So it's the way you want to look at what information is given to you. And that leads me to my second point, which is mass communication. So, the radio has been there for ages, right? But have you noticed whenever anything which is catastrophic happens, why do leaders get onto the radio and the TV? What is the reason for it? Why do, during the pandemic, you saw the leaders around the world coming on TV and speaking about the measures they have taken? Why are they coming on radio and TV? Why not speaking to you in person? What is the reason for it? Anybody?
The
I think
hierarchy
it's a
maybe.
mass reachability.
Influence.
Influence. Okay, great. Very nice.
The
Reachability.
reachability to the audience.
Yes.
And
Anybody? Nisma?
TV,
Yeah.
TV and radio
It's
are
easy to get
available
through
for
to people who we know, Shekhar. Because see, individually, you obviously cannot get through. You obviously cannot communicate with each and every person, and get to them and check what's happening around. It's very
Correct.
easy for us to get in touch with someone who we already know.
Correct.
That's the first thing. And the second thing would be because they are the ones who can give us the solution. Maybe the one who went through it might not give you that solution because they were at that stage itself. But the person who is supposed to be taking that step is someone is a leader. So you have to go through them to get to the solution.
Nice. It's nice. I'm making you think like this. You're able to think through it completely. Yeah, absolutely, Nisma. You make complete sense. But I think what you said. If you look back at history, through any important decision which has been made, World War I, World War II, pandemic, which is almost like a world war, I would say, the Ukraine war, for example, everything is being spoken about on radio and on TV. Now, radio is all about intonation. Radio is all about the words you use. Radio is all about the pauses you take. TV is all about your body language. TV is all about how you dress up. TV, I'm talking to you specifically about radio and TV because I've done a lot of work on radio and TV. I appear on TV here back in India, where I appear on primetime debates, and I know how it operates. The kind of color which is used, why are broad colors used to explain a particular point? Why is everything breaking news, for example? Because they try to play with your mind, and that is communication. Communication is all about the use of colors. Communication is all about your body language. Communication is all about presence of mind. Communication is all about taking those pauses when it's appropriate. For example, in India, back in India, we had this prime minister called Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Very, very popular, very seasoned politician, and he was known for his pauses. There were times when he could pause for 1 minute, and people were like, "When is he going to start speaking next?" He would pause just for a minute, and then they were like, "Is he going to speak next?" But he was such a seasoned campaigner. He was a very popular politician for all the right reasons. He was popular with both the opposition and with his party because he was a poet at heart. So he just knew how to play with the audience. You're talking in the parliament and then you stop and say, for example, in Hindi, they say this word called "achhi baat nahi hai," which basically means it's not a good thing. And then he stops, and then he just stops for 1 minute, and you're like waiting for him to speak. What is he going to speak next? So he knows how to play with the audience. He's enigmatic. So, this is how it really works. Communication it's a mix of a lot of things. Communication is a mix of your body language. Communication is a mix of the words you use. the kind of pauses you take, your inflection points, your presence of mind, the topics you talk about, how symbolic you want to be in terms of how do you want to press a particular point. And there are various forms of non-verbal communication also. It could be your clothes, it could be how you dance, it could be how you speak, it could be everything, how you want to play your music. That all is an example of non-verbal communication. But coming to the point of TV and radio, TV and radio is the strongest medium of communicating, and leaders know how to use it. And I'm saying leaders, world leaders. And we are all right now, as we talk, this is our small TV, this is our small radio. You can always start a YouTube channel. You can always start a radio channel on your own. You can always do something on your own. You don't need somebody else to tell you that, right? We're living in a democratic world, not a country, right? Where boundaries just don't define us. That's an interesting line, right? It should be a caption in a t-shirt. Boundaries don't define us. But that's exactly the point, what communication is. Communication in today's day and age can make or break a relationship. Communication in today's day and age can make or break countries. Communication in today's day and age can make or break a brand. Okay? If you go out in the streets and look at those billboards, the billboards of great companies, they all have one thing in common. They have words which talk to you. They have captions which talk to you. I always remember this caption about Martina Navratilova, a very, very popular tennis player who has won the maximum double titles in the history of tennis. Somebody asked her, what makes you win so much? And she had said, you don't win the silver, you lose the gold. I was like, wow, that's such a strong statement. You don't win the silver, you lose the gold, which shows her competitive spirit. And that was also used by Nike. When they said, you don't win the silver, you lose the gold. Nike is a shoe company. A shoe company is talking about sports. If you look at any company around you, any great company, for example, let's take Apple. Apple's phones are what? This is an Apple phone, for example. It's nothing great. It's just regular black, white, yellow, orange. That's it. It doesn't have great features. But why do people talk about it? Because Apple connects with your emotions. Apple makes you want to buy it. Apple makes you feel that why am I not having that product? Because Apple is not talking about its features at all to you. Look at Apple. It never talks, this is our data size, this is our memory availability, this is what we are all about. No, my car is bigger than yours. No, nothing of that bullshit. Apple only talks about what it can do for you emotionally. Apple talks about how happy it can make you. At a heavy price, by the way. But you don't talk about the price. You want to go for it because that's what Apple does to you. So Apple plays with your mind. Apple goes for your mind, not for your heart. Or your heart or your mind, however you like it. But that's what great communicators do. That's what great brands do. They go for your mind or your heart because they know what makes you tick. So understand one thing very clearly. Communication is all about emotions. Communication is about how can you make people think in a language which you want them to think. Right? So I've spoken so much about communication. I've spoken about listening. I've spoken about what are the disadvantages of bad communication, what makes communication very effective. It's also very important. Say, for example, now, if I ask you to all speak for 1 minute flat on a subject, I'll give you that time right now. I'm going to do an activity with you right now, but I'm going to make all of you, I might pick on one person and speak on 1 minute, say, for example, on biryani. I'm just giving an example. Or speak for 1 minute on platinum being the most expensive gold, or platinum being the most expensive metal in the world. And what will you talk about it? I want you to speak for 1 minute on that. There are a few points I want you to keep in mind while you speak. Okay. Take a note of these points. One is, please understand the 10 people who are around you. All right. So like I said, I'm going to give all of you 90 seconds. Okay. Before that, few things to keep in mind. You're going to be speaking right now about a topic which I will give you, or you can choose a topic. These are the things you need to keep in mind. Please Take some time to, if you want to write about it, I'll give you time to write about it. I want you to relax. And I also want you to visualize. Visualize, there are two things I've heard a lot of people say called manifest. Manifest, visualize, just think about the future. It also comes true, So I want you to visualize how people are going to relate to your presentation or to your speaking, okay? Concentrate on your message. Don't worry about the medium, okay? Don't worry on how do I look, how do I don't look. Concentrate on your message. If your message is simple, people will understand it. If your message is not simple, whatever you do in life, nobody's going to understand. Don't worry about it. So I think Rajnikant was the best example. And have fun. It's very important to have fun in doing what you do. If you are going to be stressed about it, you'll never have fun. Typically, communication is all about having fun. Communication is all about talking it out, exchanging views, exchanging thoughts, ideas, and opinions. And all of you here in this room have a lot of experience. All of you have seen more summers, more winters than me, seen lesser summers, seen lesser winters than me. So there's so much to learn from each one of us. Okay. So I'm going to choose one person to start with. 90 seconds is what I give you. But before that, I'll give all of you one topic. You can take 5 minutes to prepare for the topic, or if it works for you. The topic which I've chosen for all of you is a moment which made me I'm just thinking of a moment which is emotional also, because it's all about emotional intelligence, right? Okay, the topic could be this: a challenge I faced and how I overcame it. It could be anything. It could be driving. It could be talking to a partner who doesn't listen to you. It could be cooking curd rice, where there's too much of curd or less rice, or too much of rice and less curd, however you like it. A challenge I faced and how I overcame it. So here, this also comes into the principle of storytelling. You are the hero or the heroine of the story. There is a story. There can be a climax. There can be a ending to it. You decide how you want to frame the story. A challenge you had in life and how you overcame it. Okay. I'm going to give all of you, right now it's what? 7:23. A challenge. Yeah, thank you, Vijaya. Thank you for writing it there so that everybody can see it. A challenge I faced. I'm going to give all of you 3 minutes right now. 3 minutes is what I give you because time is at a premium. Okay. 3 minutes I give all of you. And in 3 minutes, you'll be ready with your public speaking or presentation or communication. I would suggest you take notes, write it down on a piece of paper. Don't try to copy me. I'm just telling you because my presence of mind is at a different level altogether, and I do this because I love doing it, and it's just magical. You all are also interesting in your own way. Some of us like to write down things. Some of us like to relate things. I'm talking to you about something which is a challenge for you in the past 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years of your life, and how you overcame that challenge. So the time starts now. I'm giving you 3 minutes. Go for it. We connect back again in another 3 minutes. It's 7:24, and I'm going to come back in 3 minutes while I get a nice glass of hot water for myself. Please don't go away. Picture abhi baaki hai mere dost. Abhi to trailer hai. There's something more interesting coming up after this. All right, 3 minutes is what I give you. 15 seconds are already over. Remember, time and tide waits for none. Vijay had mentioned this yesterday. Time and tide waits for none. Time is the most elusive quality in the world. So make use of your time. Take a note, write down, look back at your experience, think about what you've gone through in life. Good, bad, funny experience, anything. I want you to share anything and everything with me. Rajkumar, if you can come on video, it will be nice. I'm not such a bad looking guy. I've got good hair. Yeah, nice. And Dr. Ruxana, if you could also join us on video. Kamana ma'am, if you could also. 30 seconds are over. Okay, another 2 minutes to go. And then we start. Whenever you're ready, let me know. You could start. Anyone who wants to start now, we can start now itself. Up to you. And there's dead silence.
Just thinking if I have to start now or can I take 3 minutes?
You can take 2 minutes. Don't worry. Take your time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. 2 more minutes to go. I'm going to do the countdown for all of you because it's always the power of expectation. Remember, there's always going to be a voice at the back of your head telling you that this is the time, this is the time. I'm that voice for you. That pressure has to always be there within us, to move us forward. And all great leaders are nervous. Okay, don't think that every great communicator just goes out and talks. Everybody's got butterflies in the stomach. They're just good actors. That's all I'm saying. They're all good actors and actresses. Everybody feels nervous. Nobody's born with us with some great skill. Everybody learns it or harnesses it. This is an opportunity for all of you to learn, unlearn, relearn, and be the best version of yourselves. Okay, 90 seconds to go. Yes, sir.
Sir, shall I start now?
Sir, please go for it. If you're ready, we can start.
Okay. Yeah, I am ready at any time. I'm ready now.
So I'm going to time you, sir. Only 90 seconds, sir.
Okay.
90 seconds is only what you get.
Start.
All right, sir. Your time starts now.
Yeah. Sir, this is Professor Singaravadivelu from Coimbatore, and I am working in a college as a head of the department. And recently, the latest challenge about that I am telling. We have accepted to conduct the examination for Alakappa University, and we were supposed to conduct only for 300 students, and the Gandhi list has come for about 650 students. Then we were having a challenge how to conduct the examination. Then immediately I decided to contact our sister college, and immediately the director of the college has accepted and given the project for the students, and they have given the faculties and classrooms to conduct. So easily we have managed and we have conducted very successfully the examinations.
Wonderful. So,
okay, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. That is you finished it in 1 minute, I would say. What I really liked about what you spoke is, sir, you were very clear. You were not reading something. You were looking at the audience in the eye. You spoke about something which is very fresh in your mind. So when there's something which is very fresh in our mind, it does not take us time to think. It's in our subconscious mind, sir. There is a conscious mind. This is subconscious mind. And at your, so I really appreciate the way you spoke about this. I think this is very nice. You spoke about a problem and how you encountered it and how you overcame it. I don't think problem has an age limit to it. Problem can come to all of us at any point of time in life. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. That's a very important aspect of communication, which you just showed us. So, if I was in a live show, I would have asked people to clap for him. If we can all clap for him in our own way, it'd be nice. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can use reactions.
Okay. You can use reactions. Yeah. You can also put your comments in the message if you want to. If you don't feel comfortable talking, because I talk so much. Okay. Anybody else? Yeah, Tamanna ji.
Yes,
you want to go for it?
want.
Who wants to go next?
Me, Nisma.
All right. Go for it, ma'am.
Okay, so if I have to talk about my challenge, the biggest one that I have, or I cannot say had, I still have. Reason being, I'm just trying to just climb up the ladder. And to climb up the ladder, you need that knowledge, you need that education, you need that, everything that you can get for yourself to get there is what I feel. So the biggest challenge for me to get to my climb up the ladder in terms of what I'm doing right now, in terms of my work, was my education first. I had to, study further for me to get promoted. And then when I got promoted, then I thought, no, this is not enough. I would have to gain that knowledge where I can, I can do something related to what I want to be right now. So basically, I'm a corporate trainer right now. I recently got promoted to a lead. So now I want to get another step higher from what I am right now. I didn't even give myself a day after getting promoted. I started working right from the second day or right from the same day I got promoted. So, now all these courses, thanks to Vijaya ma'am. So I have some weightage right now. Still a challenge. However, I will overcome it. I know. A little time that you need to give to yourself. But you will surely be there. So I just wanted to conclude stating that it has started and it will end the way I want.
Lovely. You took exactly 90 seconds to explain what you feel. And, Nisma, what I really liked about what you said is you were very clear about your challenge. You were very clear about the steps you have taken. You were very clear about what you need to do to overcome it. And you have taken accountability for it. Nisma, I have a question for you and for everybody here. What is important for you? Is it the journey? Is it the destination? Or is it the company?
I think the journey is what it makes you, it makes you keep yourself connected to what you've already gone through. It also makes you teach that, or makes you teach, or makes you aware of, things you had been through in your entire, let's say your work journey or your life journey, whatever you want to achieve in life. That is something that you cannot forget. So if you have that always in mind, then it is difficult, but you will surely get there. So for me, it's journey. After that, how you want to make your journey, obviously you have to reach that destination. If you have that in mind that you want to reach, you will reach. Make them what. But yes, journey and then the destination.
Journey
Step
and
by step.
destination. You'll be surprised, Nisma. I've asked this question at various places. Everybody's given a different answer to it because the journey, the destination, and the company can change based on the situation. Based on the situation we are in. For example, for me, if you have to ask me now, the journey is important, destination is important, company is important. Because if the company is effective and the journey is effective, it makes everybody's journey worthwhile. So I think you give a very, very intuitive answer because I think what you want to do is you want to move up the corporate ladder. You're looking at how you can work on things. But I think that's truly the skill of communication about how you present what you want to say in the most simplest manner. And a lot of people have a tough time doing this, by the way. Because they don't trust the audience, because they don't know what to say, they don't use the right words, and they end up making a fool of themselves. So I think you're right there in terms of that. Right. Thank you, Nisma. Thank you so much. Anybody else wants to speak? Anybody else? Yes, Vatsana Deviji. Ma'am, you have to unmute yourself.
All right, now can you hear?
Yes, ma'am. Very good.
Yes. I'm Vasanta. I'm from Malaysia. Okay, you were saying of the moment which made me, the challenge, how I challenge, I have faced and overcome out of it, and still going on. Still, my life is still going on, and believing. First is believing in myself, which I always think that I can do it. Okay, I believe in spiritual. Always I do that because the obstacles I face all through my life, it is not an easy life, but I went through experience, and the pain and everything makes me very strong. And always I communicate with people around me. It can be anyone, it can be family members or friends or entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, I have faced a lot of things in my life, and I'm learning, which made me a better person and a stronger person, where people can believe me, trust me. Always I'll be very humble with people around me. I learn from people. It is not to say that I learn everything by myself. Through experience, this made me stronger. So I'm still going on in that, and the process in my life all was experiences. Okay, still going on, and I'm always like to meet people. As now I'm communicating with the global speakers and as you sir and Madam dear Saraswathy, and I'm very, very happy because I have to meet people around. They can do it. Why can't I do it? This is the question always. Yes. So this is what I am. This is Vasanta. Always want to learn something. academically, I'm not very perfect. Through experience, I've learned my English. I'm still going on. This is my experience of my life, and I'll still go on. Age is not a fact. Age is nothing. அதான் சொல்லுவாங்க, கற்றோருக்கு சென்ற இடமெல்லாம் சிறப்புன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. So அதனால எனக்கு that's why I love learning and I love education. And I'm very, very happy to meet all of you as global family and friends. So this is my
Thank you so much. That was very nice. You actually spoke of something which is very personal to you, and I think spirituality is the answer to it. Some way it's also about understanding ourselves, right? It's always good to look inside and see what really makes us tick. Thank you, ma'am, and a lot of gratitude to you too for what you do. Thank you so much. Can we all clap for ma'am? I think that's a very nice message. Thank you. Tamanna ji, you wanted to also speak? Yeah. Ma'am, you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, Shekhar ji, hi. I like as far as my academic journey is concerned, I mean, I entered the best universities in India, and that was the best part of me. And I didn't know the challenges which were following me, like in doing my MPhil and PhD. And people were like, they felt that she might not be able to become a political philosopher. Like it's a very tough thing. You have to know your concepts extremely well. But the fact was that I persisted on that. I wanted to become one, and I made all the effort to read as much as possible and think as much as possible as a thinker. And so I read as many books as possible in my field. And so ultimately now I am known as a political philosopher in my field, and my peers, and they feel that she is capable of theorizing and a political theory by herself. And so that was the whole thing. Yeah, thank you.
Very nice, ma'am. Very nice. And ma'am, somewhere like you said, I think our experiences teach us so much. And books are the biggest treasures we all have. We don't understand the value of books, right? And I think in today's day and age, I think that's so important. Our experiences guide us wherever we are, be it the journey, the destination, or the company. Thank you, Tamanna ji.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. We all clap for ma'am also. Yeah, everybody. Thank you so much. Dr. Ruxana.
Very good evening. A very good evening. Actually, it's a very tough day for me today. I just came back. Then I said, I'm not going to miss my class. Okay. For me, the journey for me, I started, I think, 32 years before. And my journey was not an easy journey at all. I think out of the 10 lakhs women, I think one woman takes up this journey to walk with the army with the man. So usually being from a Muslim community, I'm not supposed to come in front of a Muslim man. And where I had decided to start up a rehabilitation center for the men who are drug addicts and who were alcoholics. So that was the kind of challenge which took me. Still, as you said, the journey, the situation, the alighting point, the boarding point, whether I want to sit, whether I want to stand, all this changes accordingly. So before we begin a journey, or today at the end of 32 years, what I would tell everybody is, when you begin a journey, that perfection, you're not into the perfection, it will be very easy for you. So whatever comes, just say, okay, this is a part of the journey. So that is what has taken me. And today I am one of the leading women, Muslim minority women, who is heading a rehabilitation center with 100 patients. All are men. And I feel so proud to stand with them. And when people of 50 years, 60 years, they call me Amma, I think that is the joy of the entire journey.
Thank you, doctor. You got a lovely smile, I must say.
So that is, I have patients from 9 years to 90 years. Thank you.
Ma'am, you got a lovely smile.
We are very proud of you. We are super proud of Tamanna. We are super proud of Nisma. We are super proud of Vasanta, ma'am. This is really amazing. Shekhar, you're bringing them out, and I'm so proud of you, boy. God bless you,
Thank you.
So today I have been training. I have been into the training for the teachers, because where I find these drug addicts or alcoholics are born, they are born on the benches of the classes. So
Correct.
if I teach, I'm not able to reach all the families or all the students. So the best thing for me to reach is to the teachers who will identify the potential addicts at the bench level. So I have a program called, bench level program, which I teach about MapCap.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So nice to
What I
listen to
have.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Rukhsana. Now, Rajkumar, I'll come to you. Let's just finish the ladies first. We've got Sarita ji and Asli who's recording. So I don't want to disturb Asli because she's recording it. Sarita ji, let's go with you. I saw you taking a lot of notes.
Good evening, sir, everyone. So there are a lot of challenges that I took in my life. There are different challenges, and it's in professional life and in personal life also. Which one shall I convey?
Go with anything for 90 seconds.
Okay. Sir, actually, and I did my software engineering. So I learned at the test engineer as a junior test engineer. I joined in some of the company. There is no department for the testing actually. Only one person was there. So my madam took me and she told me to create a team. So she allotted everything for me. That is even recruiting from a person to training and everything. So I took it as a challenge, and out of 100 employees, I took only 4 of them according to their ability and everyone. And the 4 of them are finalized by me, and the 4 of them which were finalized by the CEO also. So the entire team was built from me, and within 6 months, I have promoted to a senior. And then within 6 months, I was a group lead for that team. An entire Acuity team was created by me in that software company. That was my initiative. That was my first challenge after the marriage and other things, and take up the challenge at that time.
Very nice. And I know that the CEO also thinks in the same way like you think. So you could be the CEO in the next few months. You never know. Right? Because nobody is indispensable in this world. I think that goes without saying. So if you have the potential, please do climb up. There's nothing stopping you from it. Thank you, ma'am. Can we all clap for her? Very nice. Very nice. Asli ji, we'll come to you, ma'am.
Hello. I myself, I love challenges, and challenges love me as well. We have got a mutual love to each other, and we really chase each other. Even just few minutes ago, while I was trying to get on the camera, my camera got blocked, so I had to go to another camera. So what I learned in life is I take challenges not for granted, but I address them with gratitude. So I know that every challenge either comes with something to take from me to give to others, or came from someone to give me something. And in my whole life, from the moment I was born, I came with a challenge, and instead of challenging the challenge, I always gave challenge a reason to feel my hospitality. So when I graduated from university, I was able to speak 5 languages like mother language because I was very bad in walking. So I developed my skills in talking. So instead of running after people were running to sit and listen to me. And of course, when I finished university, I was employed by a company, and they said, Asli, we want to send you to Iraq and then to Afghanistan. I said, okay, fine, I can go. And I was the only woman. So the men were saying, what is this little girl doing here? I was only 21 years old.
Little girl.
And it was very hard for me in the crowd, especially when there was a tender or a meeting. And I'm not a very tall person, but I'm fair enough to survive. So what I was doing is all the time, I was waiting in front of the meeting room where everyone was getting seated and I was entering the room. So instead of trying to be recognized, I was being a little bit cheesy and late, so that they were turning to me. And all the time, it was giving me a chance to inform and introduce myself. So the challenges, I was not, taking them something to break me, but I was taking them as a brick to climb on and to get higher in my life. So I am so thankful to the challenges for making me. And I think without the challenge, life would be just so odd and boring, because it's just, how do you say, very much like excitement and adrenaline. So I love the challenge. I love to challenge, and I love the opportunity to be here. And like yesterday, Dr. Vijaya said, "Ani wala hai, jai wala hai." So it's all about learning and getting old.
We are ready to take on. I think that's so true. When you talk about challenges, how do we look at challenges? Do we look at them face on and say, "Come on, let's play a game together"? And are we ready for it? I think you took us on a very interesting journey. And once we finish up with this, I'll tell you the reason why I asked all of you to speak about your challenge and how you overcame it. There's a reason for it. Thank you. Rajkumar ji.
Yes, this okay. This is one of the challenges what I faced in one of my earlier jobs. It was usually what happens is that my sales manager, he tells me to go and visit a client if there is an issue. So one day he just told me, "See, this customer is there. He's having some issues. Go and attend it." That's all he told. He didn't even tell me what's the issue. Nothing. So when I went there in the morning around 9:30, the client is telling that I need to prepare 15 computers with all software installed, and I'm only one person. The other person is the actual system admin over there, and he wanted me to do it as early as possible. And I was wondering, how do I do it? Because I'm the only person who is there to do all those things. And, I've been put into a similar situation by my sales manager multiple times. So I was just wondering, if I had to do for 15 computers, I would at least waste 3 days of my time. So immediately I remembered a particular app which can help me to duplicate one machine to any number of machines. So but I didn't know how to use it. I've only heard the name of it, but I never used it in a technical way, because when it comes to enterprise software, you need to know everything in detail, how to do it. So I immediately remembered a colleague, another friend of mine who used the software. I called him out and I reached out to him telling that, "See, this is the issue what I have." I only needed to understand I only need to understand the software conceptually. I don't need the exact step. If you just tell me the concept, I can learn about it. He explained me the concept of the software within just 10-15 minutes. I grasped the core of it, and I did it in 1.5 days. I finished the entire project.
Wow.
So that was really kind of a boost for me, because like just 15 minutes ago, I didn't know the software, what it does, how to deal with it. And after learning the core concept of it, I was able to kind of replicate it. So that was a huge win for me in terms of a technical in my job.
Wonderful, wonderful, very interesting story. Can we clap for him, everybody?
Rajkumar.
Amazing story.
Amazing, amazing. Shekhar, you have one more, participant here who's sitting with me. We both are in the same, line. So I'm just passing it to him. He's Tariq.
Hi, Tariq. We spoke yesterday. Hi.
How are you?
Very fine. Go for it.
Yeah, fine. So,
Tariq is thinking, where did I land up?
I faced in life. One is to
Loudly, you have to speak loud.
Okay. One of the challenges which I was facing was to speak in social events. I think I still have a challenge around that. but some circumstances where I overcome that was is something. So I still have that big challenge. So,
Okay.
well, okay, I can tell you another thing. Something like, okay, I was not able to drive a car, but at some point, I had to my pet, and there was no one, so I just tried and I kind of drove it.
Nice.
So I feel I just have to try it and slowly like overcome challenges.
Lovely. Thank you, Tariq. Can we clap for Tariq? I think we've all gone through this phase of trying to drive a car, either our car or the neighbor's car, or just to take your friend out for a drive, if you know what I mean. But the reason why I asked all of you to speak about your challenges is, when you speak about your challenges, it's something which is very close to your heart. It's something which comes from a very sacred place in your heart, and you don't think about it, right? It makes you connect with the people around you. You start trusting your content, you start trusting your audience, you start trusting yourself that it's what I dealt with, it is always the truth, because I went through the challenge, I overcame it. So I think that's exactly what storytelling is about. Storytelling is the next element of communication. When I'm saying storytelling, communication is about your various modes of communication: reading, writing, listening, your body language, the words you use, the pauses you use, your art of listening. But storytelling is an integral part of it. How important and how strong are your stories? Can your stories make people laugh, cry, and smile? That is storytelling. Can your stories resonate with the larger audience? Can your stories make people just cry uncontrollably? We have seen situations where people have just started crying listening to somebody's story because you can relate to it, right? Now we are in a position right now where all of us are at a common page, where all of us are talking about something which is very personal to us. We're talking about our stories. We're talking about what makes us tick, what does not make us tick, what are our challenges, irrespective of age, sex, or country, which is very interesting. So, I believe, I think it all boils down to, you relaxing, you visualizing, you being comfortable with your content, you being comfortable with the audience around you. And that exactly is what communication is all about. But the glue which binds everything together is storytelling. Storytelling is about your pitch, it's about your presentation. And storytelling is going to be used everywhere, whether you like it or not. If you want to be successful in life, you can write this down. You have to be a good storyteller. You have to be a good storyteller. If you're not a good storyteller, you will not succeed in life. Take it from me in writing. Because whatever you see around you, countries, leaders, politicians, technocrats, bureaucrats, actors, life gurus, life coaches, they all have great storytelling skills. If you don't have good storytelling skills, you will not succeed. And storytelling is extremely simple. Storytelling is about trusting the audience, which nobody does nowadays. And why would you have so many webcams in the world? Why would you have so many security guards in the world? Storytelling is about trusting the audience. Storytelling is about finding your voice. What is your voice all about? You just spoke about your voice a few minutes back, all of you. You spoke about your challenges at work. You spoke about how you encountered challenges. That is finding a voice. Storytelling is about being connected with what's happening around you. That you have the presence of mind that even if technology is not helping you, you're able to move forward. Like what Asli did, right? Camera was working or not working. She still went on. She said, you know what? I welcome the challenges. I think that's such a powerful statement. Storytelling is about being prepared and not being prepared. Storytelling is, having presence of mind. I always tell this, you need to be ready for anything which comes your way. Like we have seen so much in this world, right? The pandemic, things changing, things happening around his relationships, companies, people getting, for example, I don't know if you know this, Google kicked out around so many people from the company who came to work one particular day. The tag stopped working. Google, a company which talks so much about diversity, inclusion, and all these good words which everybody, all these CEOs use, they kicked out employees in one day. Why? Because they want to kick out employees. And how does it work? The employees come to work, their IDs don't work, and that's it. So please love your job, but don't love your company.
True.
You all love your jobs, no doubt. Love your jobs. Love what you do. Love what you do. Love it with all the affection. But please, companies are companies at the end of the day. They will do what it does for profit. Passion and profit may or may not go together, but passion will always trump profit. Passion is always overriding. It's like the journey, the destination of the company story, or like the tortoise and the hare story, for example. The tortoise will always win, even though the hare is always there. Profit and loss is important, but values are important. Passion is important. Connecting emotions is important. And one more element of storytelling is emotional intelligence. It's about gratitude. A lot of you showed gratitude to what you were doing today, to the learnings you've got. I think gratitude is very important. Gratitude is the biggest soft power you can have in the 21st century. Take my word for it. Biggest soft power you can have in the 21st century. Gratitude for everything what has gone right in your life. Gratitude for everything which has gone wrong in your life. And trust me, even if everything has gone wrong in your life, I would rate you more successful than somebody who's always been winning, because failures teach you more than your victories. No leader will ever tell you his failures, because if he tells you his failures, it becomes a more open and vulnerable, and every leader doesn't tell that. But if there is a leader who talks about failures more than his victories, that is a special leader. And you can count them on your fingers. Those leaders who talk about, when I failed and what I learned from my failures. Because our failures teach us a lot more than our victories. Our challenges teach us more than our victories. Our victories will teach us what it needs to teach. But only from your failures will you learn more. And for me, in my dictionary, if you have failed, you're a champ.
Your trainer shares his challenge and how he overcame it. How is it going to be? You all participants shared with him your challenge and how you overcame it. It gave us so much of eye for detail, and it gave us courage. It gave us a motivation to do things, challenges our friends, isn't it? So now
Absolutely.
I would love to ask Shekhar, what is the challenge he faced and how he overcame it? Over to the hero of the day. God bless you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Vijaya. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I want to share this with all of you. There's something which is very personal, but I trust. So one skill which every storyteller should have is you should trust your audience, whether visible or invisible. And I had made a trip to Mount Kailash, Mansarovar Lake, a few years back. Now, Mount Kailash, Mansarovar Lake is in China-occupied Tibet. It's a very interesting place for people around the world who want to go see Lord Shiva. Now, I went there because my in-laws wanted to go there, and I'm very inquisitive by nature. And I'm also very spiritual by nature also, because I believe there is something which drives all of us. I believe godliness lies within all of us. I feel there is a God in all of us, I believe, which takes over everything. And I went there, and it's a very interesting trip when you go there, because you are in China-occupied Tibet, and you go on these helicopter rides, which are driven by Russians who don't speak a word of English and who are very sleep deprived, and they just start and stop whenever they want. And you're traveling in between the Himalayas. And that's when nature plays tricks with you, because you're in between the Himalayas, the helicopters moving left and right, and you're praying to all the gods you can think of, and you somehow land in one piece. And I don't know if you've seen these videos on Facebook, these small airports, these small runways, which must be as big as your house, and then they take off, the plane takes off. I couldn't believe it. But I was in one plane which actually took off like that. I'm like, how is this fellow going to drive in the short runway and take off? Like, you need a bit of acceleration as a pilot to take that asset. That's when you start trusting the pilot more than yourself. And, it's a beautiful moment, when they take off and air pressure, though, it's always there. But more than anything else, you see the mountains up close and personal. The mountains almost like kissing you and saying, you can get close to me, but don't blame me if anything goes wrong. The mountains are telling you that. And that's what makes it fun, because you need to have a sense of humor when you're in places like this, because the magic takes over. The vibration of the mountains takes over. And you go to a place like Mount Kailash, you go through Nepal, China occupied Tibet, you sit on those yaks, who's always one step away from falling down the cliff. And you think the yak will fall, but the yak won't fall, because yak is more concerned about their life more than your life. So you're fine. Okay, let's go on. And then one fight, I said, I don't trust the yak. Let me start walking. So I walked all 53 kilometers of the mountain, which is a very foolish thing to do. But when madness takes over, you do all kinds of crazy things. And when I started walking, I realized I'm the only one who's walking. Nobody's in front of me, nobody's behind me. And that's when nature started playing tricks with me, or that's what I believe. It started snowing, it became very hot, it became very cold. So Mount Kailash is around, it's at a very high density, and it's around 26,500 feet. And, you're very close to the mountain, you're very close to the clouds. So it can rain, it can, it does everything, and it's all barren land. And you're wearing 4 layers of clothing, you're wearing glasses, you're wearing mask at that point of time. It is a harbinger of how the future is going to be. Mask 4 years back, we knew the pandemic was coming, and you feel like a complete fool because you're walking all alone and nobody's in front of you, nobody's behind. That's when you start questioning your decisions. And nature also is telling you, what a fool you are, man. Then nature will also somehow give you a peek into what nature is like. Nature will give you a trailer. Nature will suddenly look very beautiful. You're like, wow, it looks so nice, it's very nice when you see nature and we have time to watch it closely. Nature has got all the time in the world as compared to us, right? We're always on this escalated to to do so many things in life, but sometimes you just have to pause and enjoy that moment. So I did this, and one of the Sherpas there, when I was in Nepal, had told me that while walking, or if ever you feel tired, just count 20 to 1. I said, what rubbish is this? Why is he telling me all these things? I don't know why he told me that. And while walking, I realized it why he told me. So just visualize you're walking all alone. On the right side is the mountain. On the left side is a cliff. And there's water flowing right underneath you, which is icy cold. And it's such a beautiful sight. But you're also one step away from falling down and one step away from moving forward. And while walking, I realized, I'm tired. And I saw a black rock. I thought, okay, let me just rest on the rock for a few seconds. I started counting. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. And at 10, I'm blackout. And then somebody gives me a bottle of water. I drink the water and there's a fresh lease of life. I feel very rejuvenated. I feel very refreshed. And I almost go running towards the base camp. When I reach the base camp, everybody's clapping for me because they thought I was dead. Supposedly, they say in Mount Kailash, Mansarovar Lake, nobody dies. Incidentally, when I got that bottle of water, there was a butterfly with me. A butterfly in that barren land. A butterfly in a place where there's no vegetation. A butterfly in a place where there is nothing around you, only mountains and clouds. Now, I don't know whether that's a sign from the gods or not, but that made me realize something. There's something about that place. And then the Sherpa saw me and he touched my legs. I said, why are you touching my legs? He said, sir, they say nobody dies in Mount Kailash. And if you have come back alive, the gods have been looking out for you. I said, I don't know whether gods have been looking out for me, but I don't know, something magical happened there. And there are a lot of stories around it. People say, then after that, I went to this place called Mansarovar Lake. They say Mansarovar Lake is a lake where the gods take bath.
Oh.
Okay. If you Google, YouTube it, you will realize that there is some truth to it. There's something about these places, you go there. I went to Mansarovar Lake. And nobody wanted to come with me because everybody was dead tired. They wanted to just go back to India. In the mountains, your hair grows long, your skin becomes tan, your nails become big. You're like a Sunday. You've grown beard. And you look really old and haggard. And all you want to do is come back to India because you're not taking bath also. And nobody wanted to go. I said, no, I want to go. A few steps away from Mansarovar Lake, I just started crying. I cried because I could feel that peace, or I could feel that happiness which we all seek. And for 20 minutes, I was at peace with myself. Not that I was at peace earlier or not, I was not at earlier. But all that tiredness went away for 20 minutes. And that moment when I was at peace with myself and I was just crying, I could see what I wanted to achieve for 20 minutes. Only 20 minutes, by the way. Only 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, everything became hazy again. It's like a sign from the heavens that, you know what, I'll give you a sneak peek to how your life is going to be. Only 20 minutes, but I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to make sure you walk 53 kilometers. I'm going to make sure you almost faint yourself. I'm going to make sure you take that final step and come and meet me. And that 20 minutes was the best moment of my life, because I cried, I laughed, and I could see something magical there. And that was a sight and sound of Mount Kailash Mansarovar, which will come out in a book very soon. And I wanted to share this with all of you because it's not about God being there, not being there, what religion you believe in, you don't believe in. It's about there is something which makes all of us do what we do. It propels us forward. It's, and that's what excites me. That there is an energy in all of us which takes us forward. And that essentially is what storytelling is about. That essentially is what communication is about. That essentially is about talking about something which is very close to your heart. When you can talk about something which is very close to your heart to complete strangers on a virtual media, I think you've arrived. And people listen to you without even muting or unmuting themselves. I think you've arrived, right? So that essentially is storytelling. That essentially is communication. That essentially is how do you capture an audience's attention. This is a true story, by the way. I've not made it up. And if you Google my name, if you YouTube my name, you get a lot of videos around this, about what I've spoken. But this is what communication is about. This is what storytelling is about. Storytelling is not something which happens by accident. It's about experience. It's about trusting your audience. It takes some time to actually get into the get into the nitty-gritties. But like I said, storytelling can make or break your life. If you're not a good storyteller, you will not survive. If you're a good storyteller, you'll go places. Because storytelling is very, very powerful. Any leader you see around you is a great storyteller. Whether you like it or not, Mr. Modi is a great storyteller. Whether you like it or not, Nelson Mandela is a great storyteller. After spending so many years in the jail, Nelson Mandela spent half his lifetime in the jail. To come out of the jail and give stories, I think you've got to be really good. We don't understand that. So every storyteller, every good storyteller, every good leader you see around you who can influence you is a great storyteller. If you are not a good influencer, you're not a good storyteller. It's the words you use, the intonation you use, the stories you talk about, how you connect with your audience. You get goosebumps when others want to listen to you or when others listen to you. And it's about being true to yourself. And that's a very tough act to follow, by the way, being true to ourselves. Because we are not true to ourselves, right? And that's why the apps come in and create all these filters for you. Right? So ultimately, it's about being true to yourself. Ultimately, it's about connecting with the audience. And that's what I've done today. In a space of 1.5 hours with 3 interruptions because of the Zoom not matching up with our energy. Right? That is a true sign of leadership. So if you want to be a leader tomorrow or today or day after tomorrow, you have to have great communication skills. You have to have great emotional intelligence. You have to be very effective as a storyteller. Otherwise, I'm sorry to say, you won't pass the test. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Wow.
It's been a pleasure listening to you.
It's absolute wow to you, Shekhar. It was really, really fantastic. I would love to request Parveen ma'am to speak because she joined in the second round. Ma'am, we are actually talking about storytelling where, we are talking about a challenge you faced and how you overcame it. So you can tell about it in 90 seconds. And if you would like to participate, kindly unmute yourself and you can do it now.
Thank you, Dr. Vijaya. Thank you for recognizing me. And first, I'd like to apologize. I was caught up in a meeting. I couldn't make it earlier. So I'm just on the way
problem,
home.
ma'am. We will share the recording with you. You can actually go through
Thank
it.
you so much.
Fantastic
Mr. Shekhar, I want to congratulate him. It was a very, very he was very compelling that our attention was there. So he could hold our attention. That's the best part of storytelling, I think. So
Absolutely.
thank you, sir. Thank you for that. Now in 90 seconds, you want me to tell something about an
the
experience?
challenge which you faced and how you overcame it. I think you being the last participant, or maybe I will give it a finish. We can actually, you can have it going on, ma'am. So 90 seconds or 2 minutes should be okay.
Oh my God. I wasn't aware that this was happening. Anyway.
Okay. I will do it, and you can plan in the meantime. I will do the storytelling of mine. In the meantime, you can plan yours. Okay, that should be good.
Okay, it should be in a narrative form, a storytelling form. Is that what it is? It should be in a narrative storytelling form.
You can use it any form. It's you. You are the heroine of your story. It can be anything, because nobody can.
It could be an imaginative one also.
Yes, it's your visualization. But here I would like to share a real incident which happened in our lives last week. I was called from my son's school. He's 8 years old. So the Kannada teacher had called me, so I had to go. So I went, and she told, your son misbehaved with me. My son was very much next to me. He was standing there. I said, sorry, ma'am, I'm really sorry. What happened? So she said, he sang at me, he sang a song, Singare Siriye. And, I was very offended. He didn't even ask me sorry. So I turned to my son and I asked him, like, why, boy, why did you sing at her? Ask sorry. So I expected my son to ask her sorry. But you know what he did? Mom, you know what? Last week she called us and complained that I'm not good in Kannada, isn't it? He asked me, he's paraphrasing with me. I said, yes. So when I was bad in English, she told me, go read rhymes and come. And when I was saying rhymes, she was very happy. In Kannada, there is no rhymes. This is the song everybody is singing. So I sang that song, and she's very angry. Actually, my son didn't know that is a film song. And he wanted to impress his teacher by singing a song that he is learning Kannada. He wanted to convey to her that he is learning Kannada. But she thought, like he actually tried to,
his intent was good.
That was a real good one. A smart boy.
And then he told her, ma'am, I'm so sorry. I will not ask sorry. I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen now? I'm directly to the principal's office. I thought the teacher will take us to the principal's office now. But suddenly the whole perspective of the teacher changed. She literally became emotional. She said, Abdul Rahim, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that you wanted to impress me. I thought you are, nagging my Kannada class. So he said, it's okay, ma'am. She asked sorry, and he said, it's okay, ma'am. I think here it was the power of the child's communication. He was able to put his thoughts so clearly. I was shocked. I didn't know what to do. I was like just a spectator.
He's your son, Dr. Vijaya. He's your son, Dr. Vijaya. Yeah, I would like to just share with you something. A while ago, something that happened just half an hour back. I'm halfway down to my house. I just dropped by to see my children in the orphanage. The 12th standard children are my wards in the Anjuman orphanage. There are about 22 girls, and they're all preparing for the exam that's going to come next. That's going to be conducted next month. It is in March. So I just dropped by to see them, how they are, and just speak a few words of encouragement and if there's anything they needed or any such thing. Then one of the girls told me that one of the another her classmate that was with her, she was going to get married soon after 12th. That she didn't tell. Actually, the warden told me that there is a rumor that she might get married. So I just spoke to the girl, and such a pretty looking girl. And she said, I asked her why, what happened. She said she has no mother. The father is a drunkard. So her grandmother wants her to be married as soon as her exams are over. I asked her who the boy was. She said he is a welder working in a shop. And her dadi, her father's mother, because the son is a drunkard, he wants to get her married quickly. so that she doesn't have the, she doesn't have the, what to say, the burden of her. They consider her, the girl, as a burden on her. So that was a very sad thing. And I asked her what the boy had done. He said 8th standard. And this girl is studying in English medium, 12th standard. And you must see the type of coaching they're having, these girls. We are putting our people, like 100 people like me, mothers are there for them to, give them, give the best to them, to get them to take them to another level, because they don't have one of the parents, or the other parents also as good as not being there. So I told this girl, okay, share your grandmother's number. I'll talk to her. So, and moreover, I said, what about the boy's parents? Would the boy be interested to study? And how does he look? Said, the boy doesn't, he's just working in a shop, and the parents are asking for 6 lakhs dowry. So that was it. So I made a plan now. I spoke to the warden. I said, just call the grandmother, tell her what she needs for the marriage, wedding, and what the demand is. Just record everything, then pass it on to me. I'll take care, I told her. So I'm going to rescue this girl from that fellow. And, I told her also, you don't worry about your grandmother or anybody, or being a burden to anybody. You have been studying here for past 12 years in this home. We will take care of you. And this home also educates the girls, gives free education. We have a girls' hostel where the girls sent to the colleges, and they come back here, these orphans, and we see that they finish their graduation, get a job, and get married also. So we see it to that level, until they're settled, we help them. So I told her, don't worry about all these things. You be with me. I see that you don't get married right now. You study, you do your studies, you do your UG and your PG, and you do your work, and you get your man who's suitable to you, who's educated. It's nothing wrong in being a welder, but if the welder was educated, it's okay, but you cannot be a laborer's thing. So that's what it is. So I've really not rescued as yet, but in the process, I can say.
It's actually too early for her to decide her life. Ma'am, anything you want support in this regard, we will help you, because we can also support her study in St. Joseph's in the evening college and find a job with dignity in the morning. So she can work in the morning and go to college in the evening and be in the hostel. St. Joseph's hostel is very safe in Bangalore here.
Yeah, now we have a hostel, inmate hostel in the campus itself.
Because the grandma will keep, the change of place will help. The grandma will
maybe,
maybe. No, sure. I'm just offering help.
That's the thing.
If anything is there, we are also there.
Thank you so much. I'll definitely take your help.
Would like to earn and learn programs for women, because women impact with love and leadership. I'm so glad you shared a real story, real challenge, because
just a half an hour back,
in our community, girls need to get educated to educate their children and have a broader spectrum of life. So you're doing an amazing job. May Almighty give you the best of health, wealth, and happiness. And how unconditionally you do things. That's the inspiration. We are always super inspired, touched, and moved by your endeavors.
The thing is that the plot that we had to have recorded about the 6 lakh of dowry, so that I can keep that as a weapon against her. I said,
absolutely, it's astonishing. Actually, they have to give the meher and get married, isn't it?
I told her, unless the guys give you the money, you don't get married. I told these girls, all the 22 of them. Then I told them about this movie, because they love these movies and all this Akshay Kumar's movie, what is it, Raksha Bandhan? How the girls stand by themselves and they get married. They don't they be the burden on the brother and all those
and
things.
Education is the power, and nobody can deny that. If they keep educating themselves, they will be able to see the broader spectrum of the world.
And this girl
anything
is
we are just a call away, we can always support.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vijaya. So is your unconditional support. Your heart and your mind is always open. I see. I really appreciate. I will definitely take your help if I need for these girls. They all need everybody's prayers, because they are orphans. And,
Mother Theresa University will sponsor their, evening college fees. In the beginning, then they can pay month on month after taking their salaries. 2,000 or 3,000 over the period of year. So they feel they feel the power. In fact, here we rescued 2 girls one who got married and she actually did a love marriage, and then she realized the guy was a drug addict. So in 7 days, we requested her. She told them because he's addict, and it is not her job to change him, isn't it? So she has her life. So they didn't allow her to read after second PUC, but we got her the divorce, and she is studying psychology, and she's got distinction, Parveen ma'am. In the last 2 semesters, she is the distinction student, and we are so proud of her.
Yes.
And that's how she paid. You know, she's working and she is paying us back. And her confidence level is so high, and she is a good public speaker. So we need girls like this who are scholars, who are healers, who can tell their story and impact the world. So I'm so proud about it. And today Shekhar gave us this space to share our hearts. Shekhar, all thanks to you. And I would like to bring in a special guest here who wants to speak, because he has been hearing us all over, Tariq, and all of us talking and telling the stories and all. So I would love to bring in our special guest, Faisal Taj, to give a completion. So over to you, Faisal ji. Kindly, you can occupy, please.
Hey all, good evening.
You are in the hot seat.
Good evening. Good evening.
Nice to hear you all. So much of fresh energy.
Yes.
The host, the man who has been giving so much of knowledge. I have my bigger mom, Parveen madam, a sweet family member, Vijaya, and all of you here. It's a great spirit hearing you all. Like everyone have your own knowledge, and you have your experience to be exposed. And who was the man who hosted? Vijaya?
Shekhar Vijaya.
Mr. Shekhar, you are really needing a big applause, because whatever you said, I'm also an MBA from UK, and I've been doing R&D in so many things. Like I'm a specialist who did about 300 cross ethnicities around the Europe. So I know the value systems, I know the belief systems, I know the thought process. I did the cross religion, and I did the cross energy, cross human behavior, and so many things. So everything is like bringing your inside to the outside. So I really appreciate whatever the words you've been sharing your knowledge to the people, inducing betterment in everybody's life. Thanks a lot. And I would maybe in the next session would be part of you all. Thank you all.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Faisal. That was very kind of you. And this is the note I would like to dedicate to Shekhar Suman today. So
You are the best. Yes,
so
you are the best. God
and
bless you.
all of us will unmute and read it at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. You are the best.
You are the best. God
bless you.
You are the best. God bless you.
You are the best.
God bless you,
God bless
Shekhar.
you.
Thank you.
God bless all the participants. You guys have been great. I feel good. I feel great. I feel terrific, because it is the energy of the participants which makes the program success. We have been trainers for quite long, and we know what frequency, energy, and vibration means. So thanks for all your time. Thanks for reconnecting. Thanks for rejoining. Let us do more of what makes us happy. So I complete by saying, sorry, please forgive me. I love you. Thank you, and God bless you. Asli is responsible for the recording this time. So please share all the links so that we can pass it on to Dolce Jasper James and get it, into our content. So thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Whoever gives one session will be a practice professor. So get prepared to be a practice professor at St. Mother Teresa University. You have to volunteer for one class, one title, one day, so that you become the practice professor of our university.
I think you're muted.
Recruiting professors, and Let us talk about it a little later. As of now, thank you for your time, and we love you all. And it's 8:30. You have given one more hour of your life, and that means a lot to us. Thank you. God bless you all. Let's end it.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. And before we leave, we can all stay in touch. My name is Shekhar Vijayan.
Thank you, all of you. Sir, thank you. Shekhar, sir, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Shekhar wants
Thank
to
you.
say something. Shekhar, do you have a message?
Yeah, so I just thought I'll let everybody know that I'm there on social media. This is my full name. You can all connect with me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. The name is Shekhar Vijayan. That is SHEKHARVIJAYAN. If you want, you could also mail me on vijayan.shekhar@gmail.com.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you,
All
sir.
the best. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your blessings. We all need that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. God
Thank
bless
you,
you.
Asli madam. Thank you. Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Saraswathy
you.
madam.
Thank you. And let's
Thank
stay
you
in touch.
very much.
Thank you.
God bless you. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
That's a beautiful, beautiful Thursday. And Dr. Vijay, I don't know, but I think all the Thursdays, because I'm part of Mahabarayan group and we pray for Sai Baba, and all the Thursdays are like extra beautiful, nice, and thank you so much. It was so beautiful. And Mr. Shekhar, thank you so much. Now, from you, I learned something. I had a big outcome. I'm going to write this to my note big time and put it on my wall. Now I understood why, in a way, my stories sometimes are boring is because I'm so much subjectional. Your story, the way you told it, I was walking with you. I was seeing the butterfly with you, and I came back and felt it. So it was not only your challenge, but you made me feel like it was my challenge. So now I understood one thing, that when I'm speaking about my story, I'm so much focused on myself. My ego is there. So I have to remove it a bit. I have to take the audience with me to there. So thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
God
much.
bless you. You are absolutely the best. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so
Asli,
much.
he is the best and he is a giver. I'm so happy. Love is giving and forgiving. Self is getting and forgetting. So he is one who loves, who contributes, who makes a difference. We are so very proud of him. Asli, when we are giving storytelling, there are 10 points. I would like to give it to you all. If you have time, it will take some 2-3 minutes. Please make note. Whenever you are telling your story, always give eye for detail. It is your story. You are the power. You give eye for detail. Like how Shekhar gave, the butterfly. He said he didn't take the yak. He spoke about the clouds. So all that items are very important. So your story is converted into a visual aid. See, whatever is visual, your auditory and kinesthetic, visual, auditory, kinesthetic is so very important. That is first one, give eye for detail. Second, always have a situation where the listener has an anxiety. You should keep them anxious. You should keep some secrecy. You have to be worried what's next. Okay. And always have a voice modulation, energy. If there is something sad you're narrating, your voice should be modulated to sadness. You should be with that. Okay. Your voice modulation, very important. And your language. Be sure that your audience understands your language. Otherwise, we are doing injustice to the story. And always pull your audience into it. Always say, imagine you were there. It was cold. He was saying it was so cold. You're giving them a feel. The story should have a feel. So we are talking about eye for detail. We spoke about clarity. We spoke about voice. We spoke about language. We spoke about audience. Now the other side. Always have an outline of your content and context. Don't drag. It should be precise, it should be concise, it should be clear. Clarity is power. Specific is terrific. And you don't just go on one element for longer time. You should have a start, you should have a body, you should have a conclusion and climax, something like that. You should not drag any part of the stories because it's very favorite to you. Because my son is favorite, I can't define. Rahim is beautiful, he is wearing a glass, he smiled and all that. No, you should stick on to what you're speaking, and you should be very careful about your time. Because anything, however interesting it is, if it is draggy, people won't like it. Okay? So be very careful with your body language. Body language is also very important. You should be animated. You should use your hands, you should use your smile, you should be able to give that voice, that energy, that frequency and vibration. That's when a storyteller becomes powerful. Then, very importantly, like what Shekhar did, ask for opinions, get them involved. Yeah, ask clarifying questions, ask for their cooperation, add the feature of provocability, and keep the frequency of interaction. Then your story becomes very, very powerful. You will be an absolute powerful storyteller. And it's your story. Nobody has the right to say what is right and what is wrong. It's not Cinderella. So that it has to be in the same sequence. It is you who is the director. It is who is the hero. It is you who is the actor. It is you who is the narrator. So you are the center of the universe. So be a powerful storyteller. Give your voice, give your energy, give your frequency, and make that story so powerful, so powerful, so powerful and memorable and unforgettable that they come back to you to listen to you more. You know what? All the leaders in the world are best speakers. Only speakers can inspire, impact, and improve the world. So be that one. I think I completed. Hope I gave all your 10 points. So it was very intuitive to say. So thank you if I have added value into your lives. I know, it is quite late today, but I'm really enjoying this session and I'm really happy that it's been recorded so that people can have the value. All I would request is all of you please go to the WhatsApp and write your comment for Shekhar because he deserves this review from you so that we can flaunt it about our practice professors.
Lovely. If you can specifically mention what you liked, that will be also nice. I can show it to my mom also.
Yes. we should do this for him. Thank you, Shekhar, from the bottom of our heart. Thanks for listening, audience, for being all the way here from 6:30 to 8:30. This is something which you have done amazingly well. And I want to thank you, love you for all the dedication, determination, and discipline you show for your classes. So let me come back with your assignments. Until then, see you. Have the best of time. Tomorrow we come back for more. God bless you all. Sorry, please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. God bless you. See you all. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you.